Hey everyone, welcome back. So I know I've been MIA for quite some time, or what feels like forever to me, but I was away in Connecticut again, visiting my family for my nephew's first birthday, and then just a bunch of other things kind of happened in life, and I haven't really been kind of in the filming mood. So I am excited though to get back into it and be here with you today and show you a video that I think that you will enjoy. Ever since I started my channel, this was probably the #1 question that I've gotten, and that is kind of where do you start if you're just getting into makeup, or what kind of things would you purchase if you were just starting? So what I thought I would do today is focus on drugstore products and really just give you my suggestions as to what you could go out and get and approximately like how much it would cost, and kind of what the bare essentials would be if you wanted to go ahead and get started with makeup. So like I said, today's video is going to be strictly on drugstore products, but I am interested in maybe doing another video like this, but also doing high-end products. So let me know in the comment section below if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing. So as I go through this, I will go through kind of how I would put my makeup on in general, step by step, and that way you'll kind of give a feel for what kind of products I would use in what order. And I'll give you a couple options for each different category. So thank you again for coming here and watching. Sorry again for being away for so long, but I am really excited to get back filming. I have a few things for you this week. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the first category that I want to talk about today is going to be foundations or BB creams. I have a couple options for you, and the first one that I want to show you is the L'Oreal Tru Match foundation, and this is probably one of my favorites of all time. If I'm not using my high-end foundation, this is what I'm using. They have a wonderful color range, so there are so many that you can choose from. I think that's what makes it so versatile, but it has great coverage. It can be very sheer if you'd like it to be, or it is very good at blending and really building up a higher coverage. So this is my first recommendation for foundation, and this is again the L'Oreal Tru Match. Another product from L'Oreal that I personally don't use very often, but I wanted to share it with you anyways because it's not great for my skin type, but I do highly recommend it. And this is the also from L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 24-hour wear foundation. My skin tends to be a little bit more dry, especially in the summertime, so this is probably better for oily skin, but I've heard amazing things about it, and I have tried it. For me, it's not the best foundation, but I would recommend it if you have oily skin. So that is the second foundation that I would recommend. If you're not interested in using a foundation, but you still want to have some coverage and that really smooths out your skin tones, a BB cream is going to be a great option for you, and this is probably the only one that I've ever really enjoyed using. Most BB creams, I don't feel like they do much for me. I feel they're more like tinted moisturizers, and so for me, that's not what I'm interested in. But this is a great alternative to a foundation, and this is the BB cream from Garnier. It is the Skin Renew Miracle Skin Perfector. I absolutely love this, and on days when I just don't want to actually put foundation on, I don't want to feel like I have anything on my face, I will just use my hands and put this on my face similar to like you would with sunscreen, and it just gives me a nice evened out skin tone and coverage. So this is a great option if you're not interested in using a foundation, but you wanted to still have some coverage on your face. Moving on to concealers, there are 3 options that I have for you today. The first option is going to be this Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I find this to be a great alternative to the NARS concealer that I often use in my videos, the creamy concealer. They have quite a few shades that you can choose from, and I think it has great coverage. I mainly use this for underneath my eyes and anywhere else in my face that I want to highlight. So this is a great option for a concealer. Again, drugstore, like all the products that I'll talk about today. Another option is going to be the LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer, and the reason why I didn't want to show you this one first is because I find it's kind of hard to find. I can get it pretty easily here in San Diego, just at all the stores that we have here, but I don't often see these anywhere else outside of San Diego. So you can get these online, but these are a great concealer. This is probably the best alternative to the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, which is the high-end concealer that I use on a daily basis. So if you can get your hands on these LA Pro concealers, I would highly recommend them. Moving to blushes, I have quite a few options for you. I think my favorite drugstore option is going to be the Wet n Wild blushes. They are super duper pigmented. A very little amount goes a very long way. These are my 2 favorite colors. I think there's only 4 or 5 that they have, so it's worth getting all of them because they're so inexpensive. They're a couple dollars. One of my favorite colors here is going to be the Mellow Wine, and then also the Heather Silk. So these are my 2 favorite colors. Like I said, they're super pigmented, super creamy, and they're long wearing. So this this is going to be the Mellow Wine, and then this is going to be the Heather Silk. So these are the two that I find are pretty versatile and I would highly recommend to you. The other brand that I would recommend, I've had this for so long that you can't even see it anymore, but this is the Milani blush, and this is in Luminoso. So this is actually one of my favorite blushes. I use it pretty often. It's a very peachy neutral shade, so this is definitely a color that I would recommend. Again, this is Luminoso, and this is from Milani. So the next blush that I want to show you is actually going to be in a dual set. So it's a blush on one side and a bronzer on the other. And this is from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and this is the bronzer side, this is the blush side. It doesn't really show up that much, but this is more of a pinky blush. But I definitely recommend this, and also I would recommend e.l.f. Cosmetics in general. They are a very inexpensive brand for very high quality products. So while we are in the dual compact here, I'll move into bronzers or different types of contour shades. So this is a really great shade, and again, this comes in a pack of 2, so this is going to be a great option for you to get better bang for your buck if you were to get something like this. But this is the first one that I would suggest to you. Again, this is in the e.l.f. Cosmetics Contouring Blush and Bronzer Palette. It doesn't actually have a number on it, but I think there's only one of them. So I will link it down below, as I will with all the rest of these products, just so you know which one it is that I'm talking about. The next bronzer that I would like to recommend to you, I actually cannot find to save my life right now, but I will show you a picture of it right here. And this is going to be the NYC Bronzer in Sunny. It is a beautiful, beautiful bronzer, and I often use it. Apparently, I don't know where it is right now. I might have left it at home in Connecticut, but it is a great bronzer, and it's inexpensive. It can be found at the drugstore, like all the rest of these products, and I really enjoy it and would definitely recommend it to you. So next I want to move into the category of mascaras. These are actually, although they're drugstore, these are what I use in my everyday makeup routine. And the two that I would recommend, my ride or die actual holy grail is going to be the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara in Carbon Black. I use this almost every single day, and I recommend it to every single person that I know. So this is definitely a holy grail, and I would absolutely recommend it to everybody. And the second one is kind of a new mascara to my collection, but I've been really loving it the past couple months. I know I've talked about it in some of my other videos, and this is the Physicians Formula. I think it's called like the Cat Eye Stiletto mascara. Again, I will link it down below to the exact name of what it is, but it just obviously had gotten me with this packaging. It's so adorable, but it ended up being a really amazing mascara. So these are the two drugstore mascaras that I would recommend. If you are interested in wearing an eyeliner to start your kit, these are the 3 that I would recommend. I talked about this very in depth in my last eyeliner video. I'll also link that video below if you're interested. In that video, I kind of talk about all different types of eyeliners, and they're not just high-end. I think I give a drugstore option and a high-end. But since we're doing drugstore today, I'll just go over this briefly. This is the NYC Liquid Liner, and this is definitely my favorite liquid liner, and I use this in my everyday routine regardless of it being high-end or drugstore. So this is my #1 recommendation for eyeliner. Another drugstore option for eyeliner, if you wanted to use a pencil, is going to be the Rimmel Scandal Eyes. I couldn't find the black one that I have, but this is the nude color. But I definitely recommend this. It's long wearing and it's great for the waterline. It stays all day. So this is another option for an eyeliner from the drugstore. If you're interested in doing your eyes and you just wanted to really have a neutral look, that's what I would recommend if you're just starting out. So I chose 2 different neutral eyeshadow palettes from a drugstore that I would recommend to you. The first one is going to be here from NYX Cosmetics. It has 3 different colors in it. And the 3 that it has is like a darker brown, a lighter brown, and then this is more of a champagne color, even though it looks a little bit white in the camera. And these 3 colors are going to be great. They're going to be very neutral for you and very simple on the eyes. The second palette that I want to show you is actually also from NYX, and this is the Love in Paris palette. And this one has a few more options than the other one that I showed you. This is the Parisian Chic palette. And there's quite a few nude and matte shades in this, so that's why I would recommend it. When you're first starting out with makeup, it might be difficult to start with shades that are not matte, that are shimmery. Sometimes it's really hard to work with those colors if you're not exactly sure where to place them. So that's why I think that this palette is going to be a good one for you, because they are nude colors and they're also matte colors. So again, this is from NYX, and actually these both were from NYX, which I didn't even realize, but these are both really great neutral palettes, but there are a lot of different alternatives at the drugstore for other neutral palettes as well. So lastly, as far as makeup, I wanted to give you some options for lipsticks from the drugstore. I think my favorite lipsticks from the drugstore are actually going to be from NYX Cosmetics as well, and they are both the matte lip creams as well as the lip butters. So I wanted to show you here today, this is one of my favorite colors, and this is in Tokyo. These are really, really great options. They are matte finish, and they are just so smooth and creamy on your lips. And then also I want to recommend the Butter Gloss. As I mentioned, this is one of my other favorite colors. It is very neutral, especially great for new beginners in makeup. And this is going to be the color in Creme Brulee. So these two are my favorites that I use fairly often just for a neutral look when I'm not really trying to do too much, nothing dramatic. But they do have a lot of different dramatic shades in these lines. So if you want to look it up on NYX, I will also put the link down below. You can see all the different colors that they have. But these are inexpensive and they're amazing, and I would highly recommend them. So the last thing that I want to do is go over some tools that you can use to put all the products on that I just showed you. First and foremost, you can of course use your fingers for a lot of these things and use your hands, but just make sure that if you are doing that, that you're really sanitizing your hands and making sure that they're clean before you put on any products to your face. But these options that I'm going to give you, they are also drugstore, they're inexpensive, and so let's go ahead and get started on the tools. So the first one is actually also from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and this is called a powder brush, but I use it actually as a foundation brush. So it looks like this. It has a flat top, similar to any flat top kabuki brush that you will find. This is $3, again, from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and you would basically just put the foundation either on your face first and then blend it all in, or you can put it directly on top of this and then just stipple it into your face. The next brush I actually use for quite a few different things, and this is the e.l.f. blush brush. Blush is actually not even one of the things that I use it for, but that is what I'm going to say as a recommendation if you wanted to. I use it for concealer, for putting powder underneath my eye and setting my concealer. I also use it to sometimes put on my highlighter. This is a really, really great brush, especially because it's so small and so dense. So $3, e.l.f. Cosmetics, great brush. So the next brush that I'm going to show you, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to recommend it because you can't buy it in a single form. You have to get it in a collection. But I wanted to show it to you anyways because it is a great brush and I've been using it for years, and the other brushes in the collection are great as well. So maybe sometime down the line if you want to look into the whole collection, go for it. I just wanted to show you what it is. So this is the Real Techniques contour brush, and this is what I used before I got any of the rest of my professional brushes, and I still use it to this day. But it is just the perfect size right here to do your contour. So I would highly recommend it, and again I will link that below where you can find these. So like I said, most of the products that I showed you can be put on with your fingers or with your hands, but eyeshadow is not necessarily one that you can put on. You can use your fingers just to put eyeshadow all over your lid, but when it comes to using your crease colors and really blending out any transition shades, you definitely need a brush for that. All you're really looking for if you're looking for a brush to really get in that crease is going to be a domed shaped brush like this. It has to be a nice fluffy brush, and really you just want it to be small enough that you can get in this crease, but not too big where it goes all over the place. So this is from Target. I think it was their actual brand, and it doesn't even have a name on it. I've had it for so long, and they were only a couple dollars. But if you can find these at your Target or Walmart or anywhere that you go, I'm sure that they have a brand like this. I found this other drugstore one, which was what I was using prior to getting my professional brushes. This one is from Sonia Kashuk, and it's the number 109 brush. I really love this brush as well. As you can see, it's very similar to this one, except a little bit larger. They're both great brushes, but in general, you can see that the shape is going to be this tapered, dome-shaped, fluffy brush. So if you're going to be looking for a brush for your eyeshadow, you want to look for a brush that looks like this. Let me know if you have any interest in me doing an additional video on the types of brushes that I use, what they're used for, and any ones that I would recommend besides the ones I'm talking about today. So, okay, so those are all of the products that I would recommend from the drugstore. We covered foundation, concealer, mascara, eyeliner, blush, contour shades, all that good stuff, and I hope that this was helpful for you. Again, this was just a drugstore one, and it's just kind of basics to if you were starting out with your makeup kits and you wanted to really dabble into some new products. So I hope that these recommendations are helpful for you. Let me know if you go out and purchase these products and how they go for you. But overall, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so if you're interested in seeing videos in the future. Thumbs up this video if you liked it so I know to do more videos like this. And again, sorry for being so MIA the past week or so, but I wanted to let you know that I'm back here and I'm going to be filming, and I'm going to have a lot more videos for you coming up this week. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys soon.